your favorite song? Hare Krishna, sing Hare Krishna.
He's got that one memorized.
What was the best part?
I learned it. Yeah, I learned
The
it.
song that you
I got so inspired yesterday. I learned that.
Your favorite song?
They're all famous. Which one?
The one where you say Hare Krishna twice, then Krishna twice, and Hare twice, and then you say Hare Ram twice, and then Ram twice. And Hare Ram twice.
That's a good one.
That's the best one. I see what song you translated it.
Well, he translated, but later I innovated it myself.
Yeah, that's why you came. So we could all have auspicious.
16 and a half syllables.
In the Parikrama, do you have another Sandarbha translation? Because my book doesn't have text numbers in it. And it's not an integrity when you're citing something just to write Anuchhed 1 without having the text number.
Which
That's all I got for what I gave you. I
Okay.
have one or two other individual, like one volume.
Well, do you have Priti?
I'll take a look at it.
Okay, because all the other ones have text numbers. Not one of those things.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Yes, I guess so.
I don't know. You tell me.
We
I
should
think
get it.
this way.
This way. Yeah, that makes it really visible. Yeah, nice. Oh yeah, it does work. It does work pretty good. But if we put a thing across the whole
Did you see the picture of us?
Yeah. Well, I immediately sent it to our layout person.
Where was that, you think?
New York?
Yeah, at Fillmore East.
Can you pick it up?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
I believe
Some
so,
other
yeah.
place in a very small store.
Does it work better?
Yeah, amazing. If you have more, I'll take more because
I didn't even know I had it.
incredible.
Went into the guts of my files, so there it was in the pictures.
Were you looking for it?
No, I didn't even know I had it. I forgot
Wow.
what I had.
I mean, were you looking for pictures? Were you looking for pictures with
I
you and
was just
Prabhupada?
looking to see how I could find things, and I had one file under everything. So it had books, and then on the side it said pictures. It had music, I had recordings of Krishnadas Babaji,
Oh,
about 6. And then below it said pictures. So I clicked on that, and that was the,
incredible.
I don't know how I ever got it.
So together,
With that picture, that Panchatattva picture, that you painted big.
aha,
It's in there too.
yeah, it's right behind.
Yeah.
Ajnanam timirandasya Jnananjana salakaya Chakshuramitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadavai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namah Yam Dvaipayano Putreti Tanmayataya Taruvo Benedu Tam Sarvabhuta Hridayam Manimanatosmi Patyavinina Aparadalakshay Chaktasya Kamadi Tarangamadye Kripamaitam Sharanam Prapadyam Brende Namaste Charanarvindam Tavaivasmi Najivami Tambina iti vidyaya radhe tam nayamam sharanantike. First, I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev. Nitya Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Astotara Sat Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. And the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev. Nitya Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Astotara Sat Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. Also to the lotus feet of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Balatirtha Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vedant Vaman Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj, to our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and all his divine associates, and all the divine assembled devotees. I'm so happy to see such a big crowd of devotees today. I do know that you could have been anywhere else today, but that you've decided to come here is wonderful, because a program becomes more potent when there's potent devotees in the temple. So thank you. Achurananda Prabhu, do you also know how to translate Sanskrit besides Bengali? Okay.
But the Bengali of Chaitanya Charitamrita Chaitanya is still spoken today. It hasn't changed. It's not like our Shakespeare English to today's English. You can still understand everything. I could not understand newspapers though.
Mm.
But that Bengali called High Bengali, because I was listening.
High Bengali is used now.
Sadhu Bhasha also.
Chaste Bengali.
Chaste Bengali.
And that's when I was listening to all the sannyasis giving lectures, it was in that way. And it's about 60-70% Sanskrit.
I see.
So,
High Bengali is, mixed with a lot of Sanskrit.
Sripad Bharati Maharaj knew full Sanskrit from Panini grammar.
So when he translated the Chaitanya Charitamrita into Bengali, it was the High Bengali mixed with Sanskrit. Yeah.
No, Bengali, that High Bengali itself is about 75%.
The High Bengali is 70% Sanskrit. Thank you. So,
Bharati Maharaj did know Sanskrit.
Yeah. So today is a very auspicious day, a day to have the opportunity to get special mercy for our Parikrama. It is the appearance or disappearance? Appearance day of Sri Madhavendra Puri, who's the sprout of praying, the sprout of the tree of devotional service, culminating in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the complete tree. He's the grandfather guru of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna Gauranga, would you like to hear about Madhavendra Puri? His life is very exciting. Okay. So, Mahaprabhu's seniors, his parents and gurus, this is from Srila Bhakti Balatirtha Goswami Maharaj's Sri Chaitanya, his life and associates, and he's done such a magnificent service to the world by manifesting this book. So Mahaprabhu's seniors, his parents, his gurus, and all his servants and eternal associates, and they take their birth prior to his appearance in order to serve him in their own way. Whenever Krishna descends on earth, first he sends down his elders, father, mother, and so on. So same thing with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he quotes Chaitanya Charitamrita. Whenever the son of the king of Braj decides to appear on earth in order to fulfill a particular desire, this is CC 1392 to 94. He first sends down his seniors. I'll briefly name some of them, as it is not possible to mention everyone. Sachi Devi, Jagannath Mishra, Madhava Puri, Madhavendra Puri, Keshav Bharati, Ishwar Puri, Advaita Acharya, Srivas Pandit, Acharya Ratna, Pundarik Vijayanidhi, and Haridas Thakur. So Madhavendra Puri was a disciple of Lakshmi Patitirtha. His disciples included very great personalities. Welcome, Lolita. Advaita Acharya, Ishwar Puri, Paramananda Puri, Rangapuri, Pundarik Vijayanidhi. I didn't know that. Pundarik Vijayanidhi, who is Vrishabhanu Maharaj in Krishna Lila, he is also a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Raghupati Upadhyaya and others. Nityananda Prabhu is said by some to be his disciples. Otherwise, he's the disciple of Lakshmi Patitirtha, but Madhavendra Puri was his main guru, Shiksha Guru. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes about Madhavendra Puri. He was a well-known sannyasi in the Madhva Sampradaya. His grand disciple was who? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prior to his appearance, there was no evidence of prema bhakti in the whole Madhva line. Well, prema bhakti, yes, but not Braj prema bhakti.
And isn't it also the Radha Bhav? Because he...
What to speak of Radha Bhav?
What to speak of?
In this verse, Dina Dayadrina, which is quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 4:197, it says about him, the seed of the religious doctrines of Mahaprabhu can be found in Madhavendra Puri, the seed, the sprout. To this is still Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. To this, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada adds, Madhavendra Puri was the first shoot, so we have seed, sprout, and shoot, of the desire tree of divine love that came out of the Madhva lineage. So it's coming and then to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prior to his appearance, there was no sign of the conjugal mood in devotion in the Madhva line. And regarding Madhavendra Puri and Nityananda Prabhu, I do know that we have a lot of places to go to today. That is Samudragar, Champahata.
There's going to be an argument today.
An argument. Champahata, to see who's superior, the Pandavas or the Brajavasis. Or Samudra Sen
Against Bhima.
and against Bhima.
Bhimsen and Samudra Sen.
Bhimsen is on the side of the Pandavas, Dwarkavasis, and Samudra Sen is on the side of the Brajavasis. He won.
Hotly contested though.
Hotly contested by Srila Trivikram Maharaj. They have this mock argument every year, Gurudev and Srila Trivikram Maharaj. Trivikram Maharaj always takes the side of Bhimsen, and Gurudev always takes the side of the gopis, and they have this mock argument.
There's another argument that Prabhupada maintained with Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. Sridhar Maharaj.
Achyutananda Prabhu is saying there's another argument between our Prabhupada Mak argument and Srila Sridhar Maharaj, yes? Why not take yes?
Well, there's another argument that ongoing, never ended, between our Prabhupada and Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. And Prabhupada said, I don't care if he's even my senior godbrother. Lord Chaitanya never met Vishnupriya after taking sannyas. Because they had there's one Paduka, and Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj had some evidence that he gave Vishnupriya his one shoe. I said, but it is said, I didn't say Prabhupada, but that he never met, being a sannyasi, he'd never meet his former wife. And Sridhar Maharaj said, so he just went like that and walked. But Prabhupada said, no. So that went on
Yeah.
forever. It's still going on now.
I think there's really no argument because
He wasn't.
even so, because I don't believe, especially we're coming to the finishing line of the publication of the Swarupa of the Jiva, with like unlimited evidence of how there's no difference in the teachings of our disciplic gurus, although it may appear different if the acharya is speaking time, place, and circumstance, or if they're using material. You have to use material language, and because we're mortals and they're liberated souls, we can't really understand them. So we're very happy to make that publication. So we accept it as mock.
You know the book, The Leaves, Not Even the Leaves Fall,
Yes.
has come out again in Kindle.
Well, good for them. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's great. So Nityananda Prabhu met Madhavendra Puri while wandering through the pilgrimages site of West India. As soon as they saw each other, they were overcome with the symptoms of ecstatic love. Vrindavan Das Thakur describes this event in the 9th chapter of Adi Kanda of Chaitanya Bhagavat. While Nityananda Prabhu was wandering through southern India, in this way, he suddenly encountered Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was the embodiment of love, as were all of his associates. He consumed nothing other than Krishna ras. That's all he ate, breathed, drank. And Krishna dwelt in his body. How can I sufficiently glorify him, whose disciple was Advaitacharya? When Nityananda saw Madhavendra Puri, he fainted and became motionless with love. As soon as Madhavendra Puri saw Nityananda, he too completely forgot himself and lost consciousness. No wonder Gauranga repeatedly said that Madhavendra Puri was the harbinger of the ecstatic mood of devotion. Harbinger means he's bringing it forth.
No, the reservoir,
Oh, I'm sorry?
the keeper,
The keeper, thank you. The guardian.
guardian.
Guardian of
Harbinger was something that comes before something else.
Well, it came before and yeah, that's as the Akhanda Gugulachari. Akhanda Guru Tattva.
Is she looking up the definition exactly?
I'm looking at it.
We'll hear in a
A
minute.
person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another, a forerunner of something. Herald, sign.
Yeah.
Herald, yeah.
Forerunner, heralding, heralding.
Okay, I was wrong. I was thinking of harboring.
If you harbor something, then you don't let anybody else have it. Or if you harbor a grudge.
Yeah.
So, harbinger. harbinger, he's the harbinger. He embraced Nityananda Prabhu. Oh, wait a minute. I missed something important. So Nityananda Prabhu said, I have visited many holy sites, but today I have been fulfilled by the sight of Madhavendra Puri. I've fully achieved the true reward of visiting the holy places. I've never seen symptoms of such divine love anywhere else. Madhavendra loses consciousness simply upon seeing, what? A cloud in the sky. Madhavendra embraced Nityananda Prabhu and wet him with his tears. He began to describe Nityananda Prabhu's glories and became completely absorbed in this description. He took Nityananda to his breast. His throat was so choked with tears that he could not speak. He felt such deep affection for Nityananda that he would not let him go. He just kept holding him to his breast. Anyone who feels, he finally spoke, saying, I know that Krishna is merciful to me, for he has given me the companion like Nityananda. Anyone who feels even the slightest enmity for Nityananda can never be dear to Krishna, no matter how much a devotee he appears to be. That's from Chaitanya Bhagavat 1954 to 69. It's interesting because every year we hear the same thing about him, and this is all new. The Bhakti Ratnakara also describes the glories of Madhavendra Puri and states that Nityananda treated him like a guru. And this land that we're on now, here at Sri Keshavji Gaudiya Mutt in Koladweep, we have just circumambulated Srila Gurudev's Samadhi Mandir and offered our obeisances to him, offered incense and flowers in our heart, or the incense and flowers of our heart. And now we're sitting right in front of Srila Gurudev's Samadhi and hearing from the lotus lips of Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj about his glories. So here we are in Navadvipa. Nityananda Prabhu is the, what do you call it? I always forget now. The Istadev something of the Dham, the personification of the Istadev of the Dham. There's a name for it. Adistatri, thank you. Adistatri Devata of the Dham, and he accepts Madhavendra Puri as his guru. So we'll surely get a lot of mercy for our Parikrama today, which will begin in just 5 minutes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Did you read just a couple of minutes ago that Raghupati Upadhyaya is one of
The disciples, yeah. You have something?
No, yeah, I'm just looking at verses of Madhavendra Puri, and some of Raghupati Upadhyaya's verses are listed there too.
Nice, thank you. So now there's a quote from the Bhakti Ratnakara, 5:2-7:2-4. Interesting how you have 2272. It's in the 2000s. Maybe they put the dot in the wrong place, I don't know. Madhavendra Puri is the embodiment of ecstatic loving devotion. Simply by remembering his name, just his name, all perfections are achieved. Madhavendra Puri, Madhavendra Puri, Madhavendra Puri. Ishvara Puri, Ranga Puri, and so many other disciples were intoxicated with the wine of devotion in the way he was. Madhavendra Puri had many disciples throughout Bengal and Orissa, all of whom were devotees and fixed in prema bhakti. another one from the same book. A few days later, in a holy place in the west coast of India, this is the same thing about them meeting. And just a few more words. After taking sannyas in Katwa, Mahaprabhu went to Shantipur and spent some time at Advaita Acharya's house. Then he proceeded from there to Sri Purushottam Kshetra, that's Puri, following the path through Chatibu along the banks of the Ganges. He traveled through many places with many associates. He came to the town of Ramuna in the district of Baleshwar, where they visited the deity Kirishora Gopinath. And there, interesting thing happened. Mahaprabhu recounted, so he himself, Mahaprabhu, is recounting the glories of Madhavendra Puri that he had heard from his guru, Ishwar Puri. So the pastime that we have in the Chaitanya Charitamrita of Madhavendra Puri is actually told by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So what a glorious personality.
Is Kaviraj Goswami?
Huh? Is Kaviraj Goswami also, yes, thank you. And by this, by the revealing the glory of Madhavendra Puri, he also told how Kirishora Gopinath got his name. One day, and then so here's the whole pastime, which I think you're all familiar with. He lived on Govardhan. Sometime he didn't know whether it was day or night. He didn't know if he was eating anything or not, and he never ate anything unless it was offered to him and unless it was milk. So he would never ask for anything. So Krishna came to him with a thing of milk, what do you call it? A clay pot of milk.
It was probably golden.
No, it was clay.
Clay pot, golden within, is everything. Everything in Vrindavan is Chintamani. And he said, well, I heard from the villagers that there's a person fasting. Nobody fasts in my village. So they sent me here with this milk. The grandson of Krishna. Sorry, what's his name, the grandson? Vajranath.
Nava. Like Padmanabha.
Vajranava, thank you.
Who has a lotus navel but Krishna is the grandson?
Who has a lightning name?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Lightning. Thunderbolt little. Vajranava. And then there was this big thing with the Muslims coming to attack. So the villagers, they hid me so many years ago. And I've been here, and I've been hot under the ground, not anything eating, so please get me out. So he woke up from the dream, he was ecstatic. He called the villagers, they were all ecstatic. They took axes and hacked through the forest. We don't like to hack through any forest because trees are our brothers and sisters, but in Krishna's service, when Krishna orders, then all the trees benefit. Took the deity, installed him in a big festival, first with rocks, sitting on a rock, rocks around him, like beds, those straw beds around him like walls. Every night they had a festival. All the villagers of the festival brought their boga. They had mountains of rice, chapatis, all kinds of boga. They had this big Anukut festival, big arti. Madhavendra Puri could see how that offering, which was just normal food, was actually eaten by Krishna. This is a very special trait of the pure devotee. He could see Krishna eating. And then it disappeared, and then it was replaced by what came from Krishna. And then, so every night for 2 months, for months they had a festival every single night. And every night it was from another village, and they all brought their boga, they all brought their pots, they all brought their cows. Some rich merchants built a big wall, then they had a big temple. Then some Brahmins came, and he initiated them and engaged them in the deity worship. And then the same Gopal deity told him that I'm still hot, so please go to Ramuna and where? Go to,
Ramuna, isn't it?
Well, Ramuna is where he stopped.
No, sorry, Godavari. We were in South India, weren't we?
Huh?
So where does he get
Yeah.
to Puri for the sun?
Where'd he get it?
Puri.
To Puri.
That is from the Malaya province.
I'm sorry?
Was it from the Malaya province?
No, the sandalwood comes from.
The sandalwood comes from Malaya. It's called Malaya sandalwood.
But you get it.
You can get it in Puri. So he got it in Puri. First he stopped at Ramuna, and then we have the story of Kirikshore Gopinath, because he was thinking, I wish I could taste that kheer that I see being offered to the deity. Then he felt bad for wishing, but he wasn't wishing for himself. He was wishing because he wanted to offer that to his Gopal deity back in Vrindavan.
Nathji, right? Is that his name?
Well, his name is also Nathji,
Sorry.
but he's originally Gopal. And he's our deity, our Sampradaya deity. So then he went away, and he thought, oh my God, this is terrible. I made a big blunder. He went to the town, he was just sitting there, and the Pujari had a dream from Gopinath saying, I hid a whole container of sweet rice for my devotee Madhavendra Puri, please go and give it to him. He went and gave it to him, and he bowed down to Madhavendra Puri, because he was thinking if the deity saved this for him, he's not going to be an ordinary person. So Madhavendra Puri took it, and then he thought, oh no, this is even worse, because now everybody's going to think how great I am, and they're going to honor me, and I'm going to get proud. So he went very far away, and his fame followed him, and so everybody was glorifying him.
And
Huh?
he cracked the pot and kept
And
the
he
pot.
cracked the pot. Cracked the pot, the clay pot, and put it in his cloth, tied it up, and he gradually ate the clay pot too. So then he came back to Ramuna. No, he left Ramuna, went to get the sandalwood. Then he came back to Ramuna later, and then Gopal again appeared to him, and he said, there's no need to take the trouble to bring the sandalwood all the way back to Vrindavan, because me and Gopinath are one. So order all the pujaris every day to put sandalwood on Gopinath's body, and I'll get cooled. So he did that, and then he went back to Vrindavan. So for himself, he wouldn't even beg any milk, but for the Lord's service, he walked thousands of miles and carried a big load of sandalwood and camphor. This is the nature of a devotee. For himself, he won't do anything, like a turtle. You know how it is like a turtle?
He withdraws from the external sense.
Yeah, he doesn't use his senses. The turtle takes all his limbs within his shell. But if there's some food there, then it comes out. So similarly, he has no use for his senses except in the service of the Lord. So then you also know the pastime of Ishwara Puri at the time of the disappearance. We told this. We didn't tell it, Gurudev told it, Prabhupada told it yesterday or the day before.
shortly before his disappearance, he was feeling so much separation. He was singing this Hey Dina Dayadrinath in the mood of Radharani, weeping in separation for Krishna who left for Mathura. So Ramchandra it was his deciding my body, otherwise I don't know what would be my destination. So then later on, this Ramchandra, that was his name? Ramchandra Puri became, an offender even to Mahaprabhu and also his devotees, criticizing Mahaprabhu for thinking he was eating too many sweets because he saw some ants. He figured, oh, there must be sweets around. So then Mahaprabhu cut down his intake of Mahaprasadam, and even though the devotees were so upset, he said, no, he's the god brother of my Gurudev, I have to follow him. Anyway, soon he left Ramchandra Puri, and the devotees were happy that he left. Yes.
Is he actually considered Jyotila?
I think I heard that.
Jyotila or Kotila?
Yeah. Because he would say, he would serve Mahaprabhu, and then say, oh, look how much he eats. And then Mahaprabhu would say to Damodar Swarupa, tomorrow, give me half. But you're already taking that. Then half of less than that.
Half the half. So are you looking that up? Okay.
So I think he's not so bad.
But on the other hand, Ishwara Puri served him by even cleaning up his stool and urine and always telling him pastimes of Krishna. And so he got blessed with the service of Mahaprabhu as his Gurudev, who was worshipped by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this verse, E Dina Dayadrinath, only 4 people understood this. 3. Madhavendra Radha, she makes 4. Radha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or 3. And Madhavendra Puri. No 4th person could understand it. So how great is he? Yes.
Well, according to the Gaura Ganadesh Deepika, Ramachandra Puri is Vibhishan and Jyotila.
So according to the Radha Krishna Ganadesh Deepika, the Gaura Ganadesh Deepika, Ramchandra Puri is a combination of Jyotila and who? Vibhishan. You mean the brother of Ravana?
Yeah.
Incredible. The whole thing is just incredible.
So also, Bhakti Rakshasundar Maharaj would explain that Ram Leela is Krishna Leela reversed. So Vibhishana leaves Ravana to join Ram. Bhishma leaves Krishna's camp and stays with Duryodhana. So
Wait, can you say that again?
Ramchandra's in the forest, he's always wanting to get back to the throne. Krishna's on the throne, he always wants to get back to Braj.
So that what? Can you take a mic, please?
If it's worth hearing at all, it's worth hearing by everybody.
So Ramchandra Puri not so bad, but he has to play the part of Jyotila and criticize Mahaprabhu. And one time he was sick. Mahaprabhu, bring more from Mahaprabhu, and look how much he eats. So then Mahaprabhu said to Damodar Swarupa, from tomorrow give me half of what I ever eat. And he said, you're already eating less. He said, then if you don't, I'll take half of that. If you don't.
So what were you saying about...
Bhakti Rakshasundar Maharaj said that Ram Leela is Krishna Leela in reverse. Ramchandra is in the forest, in exile, but he's always wanting to get back to his kingdom, be king and sit on the throne. Krishna is in Dwarka, on the throne, always wanting to be back in the forest of Braja. Now Vibhishana was in Ravana's camp, but he leaves, he defects, and joins Ram. Bhishma, in Krishna Leela, stays with Duryodhana's camp and leaves Krishna.
So interesting
So
pastimes.
Reverse. And Ram Leela is pretty, it's all in the mode of pathetic mode. It's sad. It's a sad story. It's a sorry situation.
if you must have heard that there's versions
Take the mic,
there's
please.
versions where you can read them forward and backward. You read it one way, it'll be Ram Lila. You read it backwards, it'll be Krishna Lila.
Krishna Lila? No, I never heard.
Yeah.
Is that from
Is
a
it?
South Indian Ramayana?
No, it's
There's
just
three.
no. It's in the genre of Chitrakavitvani.
Also, I want to say when Madhavendra Puri knew that
Can you give him the thing?
when he received
Can you
the
give him this?
kheer, the pot of kheer from the deity in Ramona, he knew that there would be a big mob of people coming to worship him, so he hid in a marketplace. And that's like our farmer's market. Now, on Saturday, you go. So on Sunday morning, it's completely empty. So nobody would think of looking there. And so he hid in one of those weekly markets, which he knew that it would be abandoned the next day.
Thank you. Okay. So now-
Bhakti Siddhanta has a line that Madhavendra Puri's humility is not false. He was genuinely trying to avoid getting worshipped by a
Thank you.
crowd.
That's in that song "To Me Kisere Vaishnav." He says real renunciation like Madhavendra Puri.
Thank you. Okay. So, Sri Madhavendra Puri Pada Ki Jai. Tadiya Avarbhav Titi Mahamahotsav Ki Jai. Now, by His mercy, we are going on Parikrama. Is it across the lake or is it... Same, we're still in Koladweep. Still in Koladweep. We're going today to Samudragar. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, now the men's kirtan party passed. Now the ladies' kirtan party comes.
We came, and here we are. So here we are at Samudragar. This place is situated in the southwestern part of Koladweep and is understood to be within Bahulavan. Now we just heard yesterday that, Koladweep is Bahulavan in its corner, its end, and also Govardhan. So here again. So Samudragar is within the Bahulavan part. It is also considered non-different from Dwarkapuri and Sagara, where the Ganges, where the ocean comes into the Ganges. In Dwapara Yuga, a devotee of Krishna named King Samudra Sen ruled this area. At the time of the Rajasuya sacrifice, the powerful Pandava Bhim Sen, who had defeated the kings of East India, came here with his army to conquer Bengal. Maharaj Samudra Sen had an ardent desire. He couldn't have cared less about who was conquering who, but he did have an ardent desire to take Krishna's darshan, and he knew that this would be possible only by the mercy of his devotee. So he thought, if in battle I can somehow defeat Bhishma Sen, so amazing, like to try to defeat a devotee in battle is against bhakti. It's the greatest offense. But if you're a devotee, for him to try to do it is Uttama Bhakti. Just like Mother Yasoda's chastising Krishna.
Why is it an offense?
To try to defeat a pure devotee.
Yeah, because they're Kshatriyas, that's what they do.
Kshatriyas do that. But why try to fight against a devotee? But of course Kshatriyas do, as you said.
But of course, Samudra Sen was really clever in Rasik, wasn't he?
He was very clever. Like, I want to bring that devotee to his knees. So who on the other side in the battle of Kurukshetra was, they were all Kshatriyas, but who was good? Dronacharya was good. Bhishma, he had a special reasoning. Yeah, a special thing with Kshatriyas. Thank you, Indipati Prabhu. So he thought, if I can conquer him, then he'll call to Krishna to protect him, and then I'll see him. So with high-spirited zeal and full force, he met Bhima in battle. And by the Lord's desire, Bhima actually faced defeat. When in great distress, he cried out to Krishna, the protector of the Pandavas. Krishna immediately appeared on the battlefield. But only Samudra Sen had his darshan. Even though Bhima was calling him, only Samudra Sen had his darshan. And both armies, they also couldn't see him. Bhima couldn't see him.
But that's fair though, because Bhima, he got to see Krishna like all the time. They were like family friends, and here's Samudra saying like, I've never seen him once in my life, and this is my only chance.
That's true, it's fair. Sri Krishna told Samudra Sen about his coming advent of Sri Gauranga and instructed him to worship Gaura through Harinam Sankirtan. So, on Samudra Sen's request, Krishna manifested his form as Gauranga, resplendent with the luster and sentiments of Sri Radha. Upon receiving darshan, the king became deeply content. He offered abundant gifts to Bhima and established an alliance with him. Bhimsen, also satisfied, departed with the happiness of victory. This place is also non-different from Kamudavan in Braj. So what happened in Kamudavan? Here, during the late afternoon, he would engage in playful pastimes with the cowherd girls. And Samudra Sen got to see those playful pastimes that Krishna performed in Kamudavan, because Kamudavan is non-different from what?
It must have been really
This
hard
place.
to use a bow and arrow while he's having all these great visions.
Why would he want to use a bow and arrow?
Because he's
Okay.
fighting with Bhima.
No, this is after.
Oh, wow.
When Bhima faced defeat, and he was so embarrassed and hurt, he called out to Krishna to protect him. Oh Krishna, you are the protector of the Pandavas, so please protect us. So then Krishna appeared, but only to Samudra Sen, not to Bhima, not to anyone in either party, either army.
So was he like fainted out for a few hours and seeing all this stuff? I'm just wondering.
It just says he's content, so I can't say. So famous Samudragada is situated south of Navadvipa on the western border. Well, the thing is, when he did see that, he was awake so that he could give Bhima abundant gifts, and then Bhima left with the happiness of victory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really quite ignorant because I have no realization. I know only what I hear and not a sentence more. So, Samudraghat is situated, just to show how everything is within Navadvipa. The ocean is not very far from here. Being eager to see the Lord's pastimes, Mahaprabhu's devotee, the ocean, even the ocean is his devotee. Wow. Like in Ram Leela, the ocean gave way so he could make the bridge.
And like yesterday, the potatoes were cooked in way.
And what? Good try, yeah. So now, the ocean, so Mahaprabhu's devotee came here along with the Ganga. Now the ocean eternally resides here, taking darshan of Navadvipa Dham and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. That is the personification of the ocean. It requested Mahaprabhu, please reside for some time on my shores, and bestow upon me the fortune of having darshan of your wonderful pastimes. So, okay, what happened?
He took sannyas.
He took sannyas and went to
Yesterday.
Puri. Yesterday?
Yeah, he took sannyas yesterday, remember?
Jumping near the gut.
Oh, he went to Nirdaga yesterday and took sannyas, that's right. And so then he went to Jagannath Puri.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he says, Samudra, I heard you just did that yesterday. I've got you sorted out.
Right, I'm on my way. So to fulfill this desire, Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, manifested his astonishing pastimes in Sri Puri Dham on the ocean shore. In fact, he used to jump in the ocean, didn't he? Thinking that it was the Jamuna, he would jump in and go under the waves and float on the waves, and sometimes he'd be in so much ecstasy that the joints of his body would
Octopus,
separate. Well,
then turtle.
they'd separate. Yeah, octopus, I don't know, but
What did they say for that?
well,
Turtle.
they thought he was a ghost. Well, he spread out because his joints were separated by 8 inches, like where the elbow is, where the knee is. And then that fisherman thought he was a ghost,
A jellyfish.
like a jellyfish. Good try, Dina. So, and then sometimes in Puri he would become like a turtle, but that wasn't in the ocean. And sometimes when he was in the ocean, thinking of the Jamuna, he would actually see, along with the other gopis standing on the shore, he would see Radha and Krishna's Jalkeli Leela, their pastimes, in the Jamuna. And in Radhakund and all that. So how lucky we are to be hearing this. Shri Samudra Sen ki jai, Samudragar ki jai, Ganga Sagar ki jai. Now let's take the dust, roll in the dust, put the dust from this place on our heads, hearts, and eyelids and tongue. And now let's run in the hot sand in bare feet to Champahata. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And here we are at Sri Gaur Gadadhar Gaudiya Math in Champahata, where Champakalata used to come here and pick champak flowers. On Koladweeps. Wait, let's roll in the dust here. Here's the temple. This is the outer temple of Gaur Gadadhar. And now we're coming in the temple and falling in the dust at the lotus feet of Sri Gaur Gadadhar, very special deities. What, Basanti? Jaya Gaura Gadadhar, Jaya Gaura Gadadhar, Gaura Gadadhar, Jaya Gaura Gadadhar.
And Shita Kamala.
Yes, we're coming to that in just a minute. Will you sing that for us? With us? Okay. So here we are at Champahata. These Gaur Gadadhar deities are not ordinary. They were worshipped by Dvija Vaninath, who's the younger brother of Gadadhar Pandit. Incredible. Just incredible mercy that we're getting. And if we remember it after Parikrama and discuss it with others, it will go in our heart. And if we just talk Prajalpa, it'll evaporate.
No, Prajalpa.
No Prajalpa. So, Sri Koladweep's southern western part, Champahata, was named after a large garden of champak flowers that used to be here. Its present name is Champahati, and it is situated in the Vardhaman district. It's nice when you get the information of what train you can take. In Satya Yuga, an elderly Brahmana resided and worshipped Sri Radha Govinda with these champak flowers. Pleased with this service, Sri Shyamasundar Krishna appeared before him. See, deity worship can get you darshan of the Lord if it's done with love and devotion.
Who did it say? Did it say someone inside Yuga?
Yeah, as he was a brahmana, didn't give his name,
Oh,
but he worshipped Radha and Govinda with champak flowers.
wow.
And the Lord was so pleased with his service, Shyamasundar, that he appeared before him. But how did he appear before him? As Sri Gaur, whose complexion is resplendent like a champak flower. And he said, in Kali Yuga, I will manifest the form you see now and distribute the chanting of the holy name and love of Sri Krishna to the living entities. At that time you will take birth and witness my most munificent pastimes. In Mahaprabhu's pastimes, that Brahmana was Dvijavaninath. Wow.
Oh,
The younger brother of Sri Gadadhar.
That's why we're talking about this Brahman.
He's not an ordinary Brahmin. That's for sure. In Mahaprabhu's pastimes, he was Dvijavaninath, who is the personified potency. Well, Gadadhar is the personified potency of Gaur and Sri Radha, and Vainath is his brother. Amazing. In Krishna's pastimes, Vaninath was Kamaleka Saki.
Die.
So this Brahman was already Kamaleka Saki and just performing the pastime of being a Brahmana in Satyayuga, who was offering the champak flowers
To a deity of Radha Govinda.
to the deity of Radha and Govinda, just like we have here.
So lucky.
Lucky. So the deities of Sri Gaur Gadadhar that Vaninath worshipped are now being served here in this temple that we just came to, which is called Sri Gadadhar Gaudiya Mat, which was established by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. In fact, how did that happen, Vasanti? Please come here. Come here, Vasanti Devi Dasi. She's going to tell us how this mutt came to be established. Loud and slow.
Okay. So, one time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, for Navadvipa, he was going to search for a good spot for all the pilgrims and have enough big open field where all the pilgrims could sleep. And he found this spot in Champahati, and at that time, so he liked that spot, so he went back and he told his disciples, to guarantee that spot. And then at that time, there was these villagers whose pots and cooking utensils went missing. So they went to the police and they filed a report that the previous evening someone came and stole their pots. And they blamed Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur for it because he was there in the area. So there was a big English politician, military person that lived in that area, and he was appalled that they would accuse a pure devotee like Saraswati Thakur of stealing. So he went to the police and he said, I want to file a complaint. And he said, okay. He said, my pond has been stolen.
P-O-N-D.
Yeah, pond, P-O-N-D. And then the person was like, pond? How can you steal a pond? And he said, exactly, just as much as you can't steal a pond, someone of the caliber of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, it's an offense to accuse him of stealing. So the police got it and they dropped the complaint, and then when they got back, they told the people who accused who Saraswati Thakur was, and they felt so bad that to rectify their offense, they owned this Champahati land, and they gifted it to Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
And it had the temple on it, the
Yes,
piece of
and
land.
Gaur Gadadhar worshipped by Ramana.
Wow, everything was there. Amazing. Everything's amazing in Krishna consciousness. It's just a matter of now becoming Krishna conscious. I was reading a lot of quotes yesterday from Srila Prabhupada, and every time he talks about Krishna consciousness, he talks about it as being the perfectional constitutional form or swarup of the living entity. So, it's way up there. Okay, so this is also very auspicious. This is the place of residence of Sri Jayadev Goswami. This is the place of his bhajan. He was a contemporary of King Balal Sain, whose place we visited a couple of days ago. What? We're going to see right now a kirtan at this place. Here we are with Krishnadas, Gurudev, and all the assembled devotees.
To take the, Dina, you put this,
Oh, he's got it.
do it, bring it close. Okay, I'll read into the Guru. Yeah.
And the king, Balal Sain, greatly honored him. Here we are. Jayadev's Bhajan Kuti was on the Ganga's eastern bank, some distance from Balal Sain's royal palace. But when an obstacle arose in his bhajan, he left there with his wife Padmavati and came to this solitary and charming garden. Once, as he was composing verses of Gita Govinda, a pastime in which Radhika entered her sulky mood appeared in his heart. Krishna's repeated attempts to remove her mind failed. When the mood entered Jayadev's heart, this mood, he understood that to pacify Radha, Krishna put his head on her lotus feet, but he became filled with fear. He became filled with fear. He was thinking, Krishna is everyone's worshipful deity. How can I write that Krishna put his head on Radha's feet?
Syamarani